Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul Young. I'm going to walk you through a quick 3 to 5 minute presentation on personal taxes because it's a big issue during the election. So, one of the things you're going to hear constantly from Tom Mulcair and Justin Trudeau is the middle class is struggling in Canada. Now, this chart is pulled from a CNN video that you're more than welcome to go out and Google on YouTube. It actually tells you exactly what's happened to incomes growth since 1981 in terms of the countries. Now that's 35 years roughly, so you're looking at, we're seeing about wage growth a little less than 1%. Now that's misleading because we've had some recessions in there. We have different aspects in terms of income growth, so you kind of have to watch it in terms of what's happened there, as well as there's been some wage freezes that have happened at the public sector as well that might drive this number. So you can't look at the whole ratio without going into some of the details. But what you can say in terms of comparing to peers, you can look at what's happening to our peers since that period of time. Like you look at Canada versus the US, we're almost double our income growth to the US in the last 35 years. And that makes sense because we are one of the richest middle classes in the world. Let's talk about since 2000, because this is more pronounced, and this more relates to Stephen Harper because he took power in 2006. If you look at that, Canada's actually done better than the US, better than Spain, and better than Ireland. Now the key aspect that I want you to drive quickly out of this is that we've had slow periods of economic growth over the last decade or so due to pressures in the world. We've not seen economic growth this slow in terms of the growth as compared to other decades because of the pure basis is the aging population, different dynamics of the economy. Let's talk about what's the critical aspects of when you're looking at income. Part of the things that you do, this is after-tax income, so this is money that you have left over to basically pay for other things like consumer spending, household spending, your whole overall budget, right? So this basically tells you a couple things. Is that taxation money that's deducted from you goes into different types of plans. Well, the EI and UI, EI and CPP are specific plans that go in self-dedicated funds. So a lot of cases when you hear the government talking about that, especially the opposition parties on CPP, it goes in a dedicated fund. The issue with CPP is it's taken off your paycheck, but it also is matched by the employer, so it's a cost to business. So what's being swept under the table by the NDP as well as the Liberal Party is the cost to the business. And the other thing is they don't talk about this redistribution of wealth. So all that money that goes into that buckets then gets allocated out to healthcare and education. And Stephen Harper has kept the transfers and ensured that money flows properly down to the provinces. It's not Stephen Harper's fault if provinces like Ontario do not take the money and spend it appropriately. Let's talk about the various plans. Stephen Harper will keep the line on CPP. Mulcair and Trudeau want to enhance it. The family tax credit, which treats the same household on an income basis, will be scrapped by the NDP and the Liberal Party. The TFSA, which encourages people to save, also will have the thresholds reduced down from Justin Trudeau as well as Thomas Mulcair, but will be kept by Harper. Tax rates, the biggest focus is on the top 1%. Now the top 1%, people need to understand quite clearly, these numbers thrown around that you're going to be able to get additional money from it is bogus statement. It's never been proven that you're going to get extra income from them because they have ways to move money around within the Income Tax Act. So it's bogus any statement to say to do that. It's a political statement and that's it. Let's talk about federal tax policies. A lot of cases there's some boutique things that came in like fitness credits, transit credits, all these other type of little boutique cuts that the middle class has enjoyed over Stephen Harper's tenure. John McCallum has been quite clear that a lot of these boutique tax credits will be gone. So you need to ask yourself, if he's taking away these boutique tax credits, then he's actually adding a tax to the middle class. Let's talk about other tax programs now. And I'm just picking on Ontario right now because Ontario is the one that seems to want to treat the taxpayers like an instant teller machine. And the reason I'm picking on that is because Kathleen Wynne supports Justin Trudeau, and she will go to any level to support him. But she will not tell you that on average a blue-collar worker loses $600 a year for the health premium. That health premium never makes it to health care. Okay? The $450 for service workers comes right off the people's paycheck, or is a calculation that they have to deal with. And then on top of that, if you don't belong to a defined benefit plan in Ontario, you will now be forced into her Ponzi scheme. So she's taking another almost $1,000 from a blue collar worker and another $900 from a service sector worker. So she thinks she can manage your pensions better. Stephen Harper has been clear. He wants to provide you options, okay, to save money. Now, despite the rhetoric from Kathleen Wynne, there is no issue with people saving for money. This example is just to show you the flow in terms of what the government of Canada has done in terms of taxation rates and the overall sectors. My question to many of you as you cast your votes, you need to seriously take a look at your pocketbook when you're reviewing the other policies of the other parties, because honestly the NDP and Liberal policies will either hike taxations or hike the cost of goods sold here, because all their policies are driven by a geopolitical or social political method to basically govern that they want to run everything in your life. Thank you.